If you ever wanted to learn how to change out a wall outlet or a switch, in today's video, I got you covered. It's something anyone can do with a little DIY experience. Today I'm going to show you how to replace an outlet in a wall. We're redoing these walls with a new backsplash, so I wanted to change out the outlets to help match with the color so this color isn't sticking out so loud. So what we're going to do, we're going to just need a few hand tools and I'll show you what we'll need. A few tools we're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, also a straight edge screwdriver, and this one just happens to be a 6-in-1, which I love these things. A pair of needle nose with a little bit of a wire cutter on it, a volt ohm meter, and a utility knife. Now if you don't have a volt ohm meter, that's okay. You can use just a small appliance, a light or whatever. I'm going to use a fan today, and if I didn't have a voltmeter, I would just plug this fan into the outlet, turn it on, go out to my breaker panel, and hopefully the breaker will be marked. In this case, it'll be kitchen. So I'll go on out there and go ahead and flip a couple breakers, and if the fan stops, then I know my power's off. So now that I know the power's off to the outlet, I'm going to go ahead and unplug that, get that out of the way. If you have a volt ohm meter, it's just as easy to use that. If you know how to use it, that's great. So, but this works as well, and it's simple. So the first thing we're going to do is unscrew the existing outlet and just kind of pull that out of the wall. Okay, so on this one we have a white wire, which is going to be neutral, a black wire, that's going to be the hot lead coming from the breaker we just turned off, and then also a ground. Now you'll notice on the outlet you bought, you're going to have a side that's got some brass lugs on it with a Phillips head screws on it, and the other side is going to be shiny. The shiny side, you'll take the white wire and attach that only to that shiny side. The black wire, you attach that only to the side that has the brass looking lugs on it. And as far as the ground wire, there's going to be a green coated screw that's on that, and we'll go ahead and put that ground wire onto that. There are a couple options on these outlets and also the switches. On the back, there's holes that kind of are just almost in line with the screws. They're just a little bit offset. You can also insert the wire into there if it's 14 gauge. You'll know the difference because the 14 gauge will slip in and 12 gauge wire won't slip in at all. If you have 12 gauge wire, you'll have to actually put it on these lugs and screw those down. So this existing one has 14 gauge wire, and all the wires are pushed into those holes. So what I'm going to do is, I have enough wire here, I'm just going to go ahead and clip these. You can put a little tool in there, insert it, and it'll release those clips, but for the sake of not, I'm going to unscrew that ground wire. Okay, so this outlet is gone, and I'm going to take our coating off the new outlet. On a grounded plug, you're always going to have the hot on this side, which corresponds with the brass. Your neutral on this side is the white, and then you're going to have the ground. So that's anytime you have a 3-prong plug, the ground portion always faces down. So we're going to take these and straighten them up a bit. On the back of the plug, you're going to have, like I said, the 4 holes that you can insert into, or the lugs. Now, if you're going to do the inserts, there's a strip gauge right here on the back of the plug, and that'll tell you exactly how long to strip the wire if you're going to insert it in. If you're going to do it the other way, you're going to strip back about 7/16 of an inch of the insulation on the wire, and then you'll just push that in here and screw this down. I'm going to show you both methods. I'm going to show you the first way of landing on the lug first. So we're going to cut about 7/16 of an inch of the insulation off. So we're going to strip that, take our knife and ring that, and that'll leave that bare copper. So then I'll take my outlet, move these out of the way, and I'm just going to, I don't have to wrap this around the lug. I can just put it like this straight on and then just screw it down. And what you'll do is you put that in there and screw it down tight, and that will work just fine as well. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to strip that way back, wind it around that lug. Just bring it in straight, and that's fine. And if you're not going to utilize the bottom lug at all, just go ahead and screw that in as well. just to keep it away from the sides of the box. If we're going to utilize the holes on the back, we're going to go ahead and take our wire. We're going to measure on that strip gauge, and on this I just need to cut a little bit more. So now I have that wire bare. Since this is the neutral wire, like I said, we're going to go on to the silver side, and we're just going to insert that into that hole. And that's it. There's really nothing else to it. So I'll do the same on the hot side as well. You want to make these wires so they're decently straight. Okay, I'm just going to insert that in, push it in all the way. Take my screwdriver, go ahead and screw those lugs in. And now, so the only thing we have left is the ground wire. Because this lug is more open, we are going to actually have to curl that around a little bit with our needle nose. Bring that in like so, and just screw that down tight. Okay, so now that everything is assembled, we're just going to push the outlet back into the wall. We're just going to go ahead and take our screws and go ahead and put those back in the holes on the box, and make sure everything looks pretty much level, and go ahead and tighten him up. And that is it. Okay, so I'm going to go flip the breaker back on, and the fan should kick back on. We all should be all good to go. So you can actually see how easy it is to do an outlet. A switch is just as easy. Whatever wires you take off, put them in the same location on the switch. Make sure you orientate it with the off to the top, on to the bottom, and that is it. It's really an easy process. Took less than 10 minutes to change an outlet. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Comment if you need any help or instruction, and always subscribe. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching DIY on the House.